Got my first career football game this week.
There you go.
What? Where you
Flag
playing?
football, baby. Intramurals.
Flag intramurals, eh?
Oh, I'm going to be the best white receiver there.
Yeah, you're not going to go for that QB position?
You're not going to catch you're dropping the first pass that comes to you. I guarantee it. You're dropping the first pass that comes to you.
Absolutely. Do you even have football gloves, man? Like, are you just going barehanded?
I was planning on going barehanded.
Rookie mistake.
What are you playing on defense?
Wherever they want me.
What's a cover two?
Come on, it's flag football. Like, his teammates are going to know what cover two is.
I played flag football. We played cover two, cover threes, and man.
Team.
You're telling me you're only playing man to man? These guys are going to get worked in their flag football league.
Welcome back to another episode of the Armchair Athletes. I'm your host, Alex, coming at you here from the Mac Shack in Calgary, Alberta. Kyle, how you doing this week?
I'm good in Will Mac's basement. Nice and cozy.
We got a real setup this week.
You're looking good
awesome.
over
This
here.
is real.
You're looking nice. You're in a chair. You got a mic in front of you.
And you already heard him talking there. Seth, how you doing this week, man?
Very good. Feeling very professional.
You look
very
comfy.
Organized. I got my feet up. Got water beside me. I'm ready to go.
Awesome,
Game changer.
Game changer.
Looking good. So today we got a
Let's
great
go.
episode. We're talking some big topics. We got Charles Oakley versus the New York Knicks and James Dolan. Talking college basketball, some March Madness preview. We're looking at the Gustav Nyquist suspension. Deserve more than 6, less than 6. We'll be talking about that. A few alternative leagues. So we're going to introduce you some alternative leagues. Last week we were talking alternative stats. This week, alternative leagues are the big look. But we start with the big topic of the week. Kevin Durant returning to OKC for the first time. What do you guys think?
I will say this. The booing was loud. I thought it was really loud, but definitely not as loud as LeBron back in Cleveland. Definitely not as loud as Vince Carter back in Toronto. Definitely not as loud as even when Chris Bosh, I think, went back to Toronto, in my eyes, personally, when I was listening to it. Still very loud. Still a lot of hate, but that's not why I love the game. The game itself was trash. Let's just say that right now. Golden State is the best team. No one can compete with them. It's over. That game, though, had the great... That game had the reasons why I love the NBA. That great drama. That great player beef, that ego, that pity.
That's the only reason why people watch NBA during the regular season is to see that little crap.
But wasn't it great?
It was great. Then when they were going back and forth at center court there.
There was that scene. They went at center court and Russell Westbrook just kept saying to him, I'm coming. I'm down 20, but I'm coming.
Yeah, but like what's he coming for? He's coming for what? Some more points? I mean, to be fair, he did have a good game, but still, they got beat pretty handedly.
47, 11, and 8. 11 turnovers, not good enough. 47 points is good, but 11 turnovers, not going to get it done. KD was responding to him. He's still losing, though, and he's right. He was still losing big. And that's the worst part of it. How can he not hate Kevin Durant? He left him. He didn't even tell him bye. He said, I'm leaving. I ain't going to say shit. But now he's just pimping on him. Literally just pimping on him game after game. Here are Kevin Durant's stats in the 3 games they've played. 113 points, 40 for 61. He's shooting 60% pretty much, 66%. He's killing it.
34 points last night, and they won by 20. He didn't barely play in the fourth quarter. He never plays in the fourth quarter.
They've won by an average of more than 20 points in the 3 games. He's beat him. Like, in terms of you versus me, he's beat him.
Oh yeah, every time.
And it's sad because you'd like to see Russell win because you see him driven by that fire, that hate. He's got a shot.
You turn the ball over 11 times a game.
But it's a pretty emotional game. I think we've all been there playing sports.
He's had multiple quadruple doubles this season with 40 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, and 10 turnovers.
It's not like he had a terrible game, though. I mean, he scored 16 points more than his average game total.
The game could have been the difference off of those 11 turnovers. They won by 22 points.
And that's why Kevin Durant left, because that guy does not give the ball up. Yeah, he might get a triple-double, but he's holding the ball for about 60% of the possession. He's shooting 40% of their workload. So.
He's a black hole.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the best way I saw it said was Durant's there for the wins. Westbrook's there for the stats.
Okay, but I also say this. That's the only way that they're successful. That the way they play basketball right now is the only way they're successful. In terms of them, if they had him shooting less, they don't have enough, like a talented enough roster around him to compete. They're still in the playoff race right now. Yes, they're close to falling out slightly, but they're about 4 games back of 4th place. In terms of the game, though, that hatred, it was great to see it come out alive because Kevin Durant always used to say, oh, it's made up, it's fake drama. No, that wasn't fake. He was getting in the face with Andre Roberts. The whole bench was coming off. Like, it wasn't just the fans. They hate each other right now.
It's definitely gotten real. So with the fans hating on him, though, do you think he deserves it? Do the fans have a legitimate gripe here? Because, I mean, right now, OKC is a pretty, like you said, middling, just going to sneak into playoffs team, whereas last year there were some serious contenders.
Fans, they don't care who leaves. If they like him and he's a star, they will boo him when he returns. You look at every player who leaves a franchise and comes back. I guarantee when Edwin Encarnacion comes back this year, he gets a mild boo.
A mild boo, but
It's
again,
not going to be the same.
It won't be the same.
It won't be
and
the
that's
same.
why I said mild boo.
no one's going to be stabbing parrots with a knife or anything like that, or baking him, I don't know, cupcakes or whatever.
I think NBA is different because it's a star-driven league, and I think it was the way he left too. It wasn't that he just left. It wasn't that he just left and went somewhere else. He went to the team they were up 3-1 on in the Western Conference Finals that they had mad beef with, and he went to them. That is a shot, man. It's like going from almost to the Flames to the Oilers, like in terms of if you're up 3-1 on a team and then you join that team after.
But it's not like they have an actual rivalry.
How can
Like,
you not
that's one-
after that? How
that's
can you
one
not hate
series,
that team though?
But it's one series. A rivalry is created after 4 or 5 years. You
And
look.
that's fair. In terms of the rivalry, Golden State and OKC, last year they were rivals. They hated each other last year. They were like literally hating each other. And then he leaves to that team. So I understand what the fans are doing. And I also understand what he's doing. Your life, man. You want to go live in that city regardless of basketball, go do it. You can join any team you want, but you're joining the best team in the league that you just were up 3-1 on. How can your fans not be devastated? It's only natural. It comes with the territory. If you hate it, I'm sorry, you have like $25 million or whatever it is. Enjoy it. Like, it's no big deal. He deserved what he got, in my opinion.
In 2-3 years, when the Lakers, if the Lakers are ever good or decent, I see them being a bigger rival than OKC. It's just big right now. Like,
Yeah.
Because as soon as this is about Durant. Like as soon as Durant leaves, because if he leaves this season, he's gonna have a new rival next. Like
Okay, but even if Durant was still on OKC this year, Golden State and OKC would be the biggest two rivals in the West. Because they met in the West Finals and they blew a 3-1 lead. That was crazy.
right now I guess you're right. Right,
So like at least for 2 years.
Currently.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So on to the next topic here. We got Charles Oakley versus the New York Knicks, and James Dolan more specifically. So to set it up for you, for those of you maybe who haven't seen the wall-to-wall coverage on this, Charles Oakley, former Knicks player, is there at side court enjoying a game. Something happens. We'll get into what exactly happens and what he said, she said.
He gets thrown out.
He gets
4.5
thrown out.
minutes in.
Something happens. He gets thrown out. 4.5 minutes in, eh? So, I mean,
Like, I don't even. Did the game even start yet?
Okay, here's the rundown. He gets there. He buys his own tickets.
Yeah.
He goes with his buddies. He's sitting in the proximity of James Dolan. They're in the area. James Dolan claims
He was
that
behind them.
Yeah, in the proximity. Not right behind.
it wasn't even right behind. It was at least a section over. There was
Yeah,
a
yeah.
staircase between them.
Proximity.
I ain't defending this guy.
He says, James Dolan says he was yelling profanities at him, which I honestly kind of believe. But, like, you're a fan. You can yell at whatever the hell you want in my eyes. Anyways, regardless.
Well, hold up. You can yell it at the players, but can you yell it at people in the stands? I don't think so. If I'm sitting in the stands and
I
there's a guy
think so.
yelling obscenities at me, if it goes beyond
Okay, you're
just some
right.
friendly
You're right. You
heckling-
know what? You're right. I take that back. You can't be, like, making really rough offside comments to other fans. But to an owner, it's almost like you could yell at a celebrity courtside, right?
Again, I honestly don't think you can. I think
All
that
right.
goes beyond the social.
Either way.
bit.
Why? Either way, he
Why
says
can't
he
you
did-
go to
And yell at another
why-
fan? I don't think you can go and yell at another person in public. I can't walk up to Tom Cruise and yell at him in public on the streets. Just because I'm at a basketball game, it happens to be a loud environment, doesn't mean I can go up and yell at him at a basketball game.
Okay, I see your point.
Dude's right. Dude's right. Anyways, back to it. Doesn't matter because Charles Oakley says he didn't yell shit anyways.
Well, of course he's going to say that.
He says then the cops come to him. Charles Oakley, a big-ass man. 6'8", 6'9", or something.
6'9", I think he's like 290.
One of the toughest guys in the NBA during his time.
Security comes around. He goes ahead with one of the most vicious face pokes I've ever seen. Vicious.
Multiple hand swats.
Hold up, the security or the Charles Oakley
Charles.
was doing
Charles.
face poking?
He pushes off after, and then it gets ugly. Then they start carrying him out.
And see, as
He's
soon as he
being
pushes
dragged.
off, that's when it's over. You can't resolve that situation.
He was in the wrong in a sense, but they start chanting Oakley during the game. At the next New York Rangers game, they're chanting Oakley. Oakley's saying this is such shit. He bought the ticket himself. It's profanities. Then after the game, James Dolan the next day gets on a radio show, and he doesn't back down. He says Charles Oakley has anger issues, potential alcoholism. So that's a pretty big bomb to drop on the radio.
That's
just
a big
as a verbal
accusation.
statement, as a verbal. And this is a man who does all this crazy stuff all the time, has hated on the fans, has put out ads disrespecting the fans. So I wouldn't expect anything less from this guy as an owner.
Probably one of the worst owners in sports.
And then there's the ridiculous publicity stunt where he has Latrell Sprewell come the next day and 8 other former Knicks to show how he's so good with former former Knicks players, I guess.
Ex-bad boy Latrell Sprewell sitting courtside with the owner.
He hasn't been into the building for a game since 2004. He's had noticeable beef with James Dolan in the past, even been quoted on saying how much he hates him and he dislikes him, how he's running the franchise not properly. So this is clearly a publicity stunt. They give him a video prop or video like tribute or some shit. Like, I don't know what James Dolan is thinking. Does he think we're stupid? Does he think everybody sees right through this? This is very obvious to everybody.
Now, the Knicks organization did say they were talking to Latrell before this happened, but I mean, they also acknowledged they sped it up a little bit because of this incident.
Yeah, I'm sure they sped it up times 100.
All right, moving on to basketball of a slightly different sort, a little bit younger, college hoops. So I know it's mid-February still, but March Madness is fast approaching. Had a couple big games this week. Most recent was Duke versus North Carolina, Oregon versus UCLA. I know you both watched those games. What do you think?
Well, that was a great day. They were back-to-back, head-to-head. Both awesome games. Started off with Duke versus North Carolina. The stadium was crazy. And I just want to say, in terms of that stadium, it looks so tiny. It's awesome. It's beautiful. The game was crazy back and forth the whole time. Super fast pace. Duke looks like a different team now that Coach K is back. They've won 5 in a row. Grayson Allen, Jason Tatum, and Luke Kennard are like 3 just sick guys. Those are the 3 leading them. 2 white guys, could I say that? 2 white guys in the backcourt, and it might be the best backcourt in college hoops by 2 white guys. North Carolina's still good, though. I just want to say this. North Carolina was on the road, and they still only lost by 6 in a game that was tightly contested. And near the end, they were down 3, and they had the ball. So they could have came back. Like, it was a good game throughout, so I wouldn't give them any sort of kind of loser points for coming out behind or anything like that. Like, they're still a good team. They still got Justin Jackson, Joel Berry, Kennedy Meeks. They're going to be okay. They're going to be there in March. We'll see them. They might even play Duke again.
Oregon, UCLA, going down to the wire, 82-79. Lonzo Ball hits that deep three-pointer to win it.
Literally from almost half court.
Yeah, seriously.
Beautiful shot.
I love watching the Pac-12 because it's like high scoring. There's like lots of those deep threes.
UCLA is number 1 in the country in offense. They're but they're also like bottom 3rd in the country in defense. They can't stop anybody.
Oh, that's Pac-12 basketball though.
I mean, this is the thing about Oregon. They might have lost. They might have blew that game. They've played UCLA before. They beat them. They also beat Arizona by 30 a week ago. So this game shows me that they're good. They didn't score. In the final 12 minutes, they got outscored 28-12. So they went on a terrible run, and they still almost had a chance to win that game. They're a good team. Like, they are a legitimate team. And the Pac-12,
they're good.
Arizona, UCLA, and Oregon, those 3 teams, people better watch out for them. Those 3 teams are scary good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Then, like, go into even, like, Gonzaga in the West. I know they're not in the Pac-12, and they play a much weaker conference, but
much weaker.
Rocking number 1, 26-0 right now.
They're motivated to go undefeated.
Seriously, just beat St. Mary's.
So let's get off basketball here. Let's go on to the NHL. Like I said last week, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about it. So I think we all saw that high stick
hockey
by Gustav Nyquist, right? Pretty brutal, in my opinion. Pretty dirty high sticking. So latest news is he has declined his right to an in-person hearing. So he's going to have an over-the-phone hearing on Wednesday, which I think that's an insane move right there. But let's talk about the high sticking. What do you guys think? Was it dirty? Does he deserve suspension?
First off, who declines an in-person hearing? That's rare, I feel, to just be like, no, I'm not coming.
I know, you don't even want to, well, because he probably knows that he meant to do it on purpose.
I didn't know you could decline. It's like, just fly out here.
He probably knows that he meant to do it on purpose, and he's like, I'm not going to do a very good defense. Like,
if you watch the clip, at first it looks very on purpose. He pulls back hard, but right after he does it, he gives him one of those looks like the hand down, like, oh, like I fucked up.
I know I've been there before when I've been angry in a moment. I've meant to punch somebody, and then you give that look that, oh,
like
shit,
a half second later. Yeah.
I don't think he meant to hit him, but not in the face like he did with this pointy end of his stick.
What, you think he was going chest level?
I don't think he meant to hit him with the end of his blade just under his eye.
He has no history of this.
He doesn't, but I mean, either way, when you're slashing up with your stick like that, the puck wasn't on the other guy's stick. It wasn't a stick check or anything like that.
The guy just pushed him. The guy just pushed him. He was retaliating.
That's
100%.
borderline Duncan Keith territory.
Oh, don't classify those guys together. Duncan Keith is a savage with his stick. That guy deserves like 10 games with his stick. I would not put that on Duncan Keith's level.
No, I mean, Duncan Keith, key defender.
Bad.
That was
directly slashed to the face. There was no stick that he was trying to lift.
You're right. It was bad.
He was pissed because he got cross-checked on the back a little bit and he fell over.
Over, under, I would say, I'm giving him 5 games.
5 games? Here's the thing. If you have an in-person hearing, doesn't the NHL require that it's at least 6 games?
I think they say it could be above 6. but I don't know if it's required.
Okay. Now, for me, I mean, looking at Duncan Keith slash to the face, I think it's honestly on the same level.
Yeah.
Maybe as far as the damage it did, maybe a little bit different, but I'm going with at least 6 games. I think he gets the same Duncan Keith gets.
Oh, if you guys are going to put me in this bubble here, I'll just...
Who are you picking as the winner there, Kyle?
Let's go 7.
7, eh?
7.
Wow.
Now,
Up
here's
to
the
6
real
and a
question.
bit.
I actually... He probably will get like 4 because he's never had a suspension before, I don't think.
And
if you're giving Duncan Keith only 6 games for what he did, and then only 1 game for that one on Jeff Carter in the playoffs when he just swung up and slashed him right.
That was horseshit.
And he got 1 game.
I don't know.
So next topic, like I said earlier, we're talking alternative leagues today. There's this seems to be the hot new trend of 2017. Everybody and their dog is coming out with an alternative league. First one I want to talk about is the Big Three. So it's started by Ice Cube and entertainment executive Jeff Kwatinetz. Sorry, Jeff, if you're listening, I got your name wrong there. It's a 3-on-3 basketball thing. It's got, some decent NBA legends signed up to play on it already. Kyle, what do you think? Are you excited for this league?
I am excited. I'm excited for a couple of these alternative leagues. It's 3-on-3. They're only playing half court, so you have to clear it like street ball.
It's straight street ball.
Street
it's
ball.
just YMCA. It's
They have
me and
they
you
have
at
a
the
damn
court.
4-point shot. It's inside a circle.
Hold up.
And
There's a 4-point shot?
They
If
have
you
a 4-point shot
score
in this
inside
league.
the circle, you get 4 points.
Yeah.
Where is the circle located on the court? Is it like way back or is it in the side
I'm not going
corner?
to try and give you an exact dimension. I think it's I don't know.
I was
You'll
Googling it.
have
I was trying to
look it
find the layout of this, and it was hard to find. There's not much information out quite yet.
I'm sure they don't want to give out their secrets yet.
Yeah.
I'm kind of just excited for all these like ex-NBA players.
Who they
coming
got
in.
other than Allen Iverson?
Okay, I'm just gonna name a few. They got Allen Iverson, Chauncey Billups, Steven
Chauncey.
Jackson, Latrell Sprewell, Bonzi Wells, Mr. White Chocolate, Jason Williams. They got Jermaine O'Neal. They have Al Harrington. There's like a good list of players.
That's a pretty good list of players already.
So it's gonna be like over an 8-week season, and they're gonna like compete in like I think it's like a March Madness style tournament where it's like the top 2 teams win and the winning team wins money.
I'd watch that.
I'd watch it, but how long are these games? I mean, if I'm buying a ticket to go see these games, it's a race to 60 points. How long is that going to take these guys?
60
I would
points.
imagine you're gonna get all the games in a weekend, and this game to 60 points will probably take like 35, 40 minutes.
I was going to say 35 to 40 minutes.
And
and then
there's a halftime,
then you
there's a
see 4 or
halftime.
5 games in a day.
Yeah, so this league just has some weird rules to me. I mean, so half happens when one team reaches 30 points. Game's over when a team reaches 60. And it's only played on one end. I mean, I guess I can kind of see what they're getting at for a faster, more exciting version of the sport. But does basketball really need that overhaul? Is it too slow
I
already?
think the biggest key for this is kind of just... I love the idea of seeing Allen Iverson play. I love the idea of seeing 3-on-3 with kind of some old legends. The game will be a bit slower pace, obviously, because they're older. It's 3-on-3. It's to
But
60.
The league is going to be filled out. All the other players are going to be ex-pros who are just out of the league, and college players who are like just graduated but aren't good enough to play pro.
All right, so they'll have talent.
So it'll be like they'll have some energy to mix in with those old fuckers.
That's
Okay,
good.
keep it
That's
fast.
good, yeah.
All right, maybe you guys kind of sold me on it. I wasn't super big on this league when I first
I'm
heard
going
of
to
it,
watch
but-
it for sure.
Oh,
Like,
I'll be
watch.
watching this,
Alright.
but I guarantee I'll be watching this next one.
Now, do you guys hold up before we talk about this one? Do you guys think Ice Cube's gonna be out there trying to hype up everything? I mean,
I
like
hope
the
he's
big
on
name.
the sidelines running up and down, just like being like the MC.
I don't think he's going to... I don't know if he's going to go Vince McMahon XFL style on it, but I think I think he's going to put his face on it. I think he'll be out there. Like, I heard him on Rome promoting it. He was on Jimmy Kimmel. He'll be pushing it. He put his money into this bitch. He ain't going to try and just let it die for nothing.
That's fair. I just want to see him come out before the very first game ever and just get in a big fist fight to promote that movie he's coming out with and just have a nice little MMA match. before the game
Oh, you know
starts.
he's pushing all his other movies onto that too. He's going to
Absolutely,
be like
right?
putting all his commercials on that.
He's gonna have Ice Cube brand ice cubes in your drink that you buy at the rinks or at the stadiums. So, Kyle, you mentioned the next league that you're really excited for. What is it?
It's actually not new. It's 4 years old. It's called A7FL. 7-on-7 football with no pads, no helmets, full contact.
It's gladiator world.
I mean, it's
Seriously?
essentially rugby, is what it is.
These guys, yeah,
It's
but
worse.
Football,
It's worse.
Football
Rugby
rules.
seems
Football
safer
rules
than... People dive at knees in football and like fucking... I don't know.
There-
Like, football seems
So this
crazier.
this league is supposed to be safer, less concussions, less major injuries.
Is that-
And I get
true?
that. I
Is there
understand
fat-
that.
Because people aren't putting for lots of years, people like Marvin Harris or Heinz Ward have said like take the face mask off of the helmet and you'll reduce concussions.
Because people will put their
'Cause
head
people
down.
lead with your helmet.
Yeah.
right? So you can't lead with your actual head or you're going to kill yourself.
So you have to check more with your shoulder, your body.
To actual tackle, like the Seahawks do. Like they
Exactly,
play
just
rugby
like
style
how
tackling.
When you watch the YouTube, first off, go YouTube this right now. If you haven't YouTube this, you have to YouTube this.
Watch the punt returns too.
Because it looks crazy. It looks crazy. You watch this, you're like, man, that looks fucking crazy. Crazy dangerous.
But these guys,
also crazy fun.
It looks crazy entertaining.
The kickoff, the guy throws it like 45 yards.
As far as you throw, yeah.
One guy returns it against 3 players.
It's super gimmicky, but it's exciting. I love it. I think
cool.
it's a fun gimmick.
I'll be honest, when you watch the YouTube videos, you'll be entertained. It's not like, oh, this looks stupid, this looks silly. You're like, oh shit, this is legit.
These guys are athletes for sure. It's
They're athletes. These are full out athletes.
I think there's lots of like ex-college stars and stuff.
For sure.
Well, I mean, NFL's a hard league to make.
specifics.
There's a lot of guys out there who played football that never even came close to the NFL. They're still talented players.
Tons, man. Great athletes.
Look at the CFL, man. There's so many good players in the CFL.
And so looking at this, I mean, if you're say someone in college, they're graduating, they're not quite good enough to make the NFL. Do you want to go to a league like this with rugby style tackling? Maybe it's a little bit different. Or do you want to go to something like arena football, where it's basically football with slightly, I don't know, maybe a little bit more similar, but they claim higher injury rates?
I'm going where the money's at.
I was about to say, I don't care what it is. Show me that money. That's where I'm going.
So showing me the money, that brings me into the next league here, the Pac Pro League. Some people said it's Tom Brady's child. I look into it. He's not super involved. It's more his agent who's just a little bit involved into it. Seth, give me a rundown of the Pac Pro League, just the basic facts about it.
Essentially what this is going to be a developmental league for people who are looking for a different opportunity to access their way to the NFL instead of going through college. So what it is, it's a league for people between the ages of 19 and 22 who can enter a league and play for an average salary of around $50,000 and then enter the NFL after. It'll be a league of 4 teams based out of California, and then that way you'll be able to play football, gain a living, yet still have the opportunity to make it to the NFL while being compensated for your current talents. So, it's something that a lot of players right now, the big hot topic, college athletes aren't paid, college athletes aren't paid. Hey, here's an idea. Let's bring it in hand and pay people who kind of want to do this instead of go to school and not be compensated for it.
Maybe it'll force schools to like have their students take real courses and do real things at university to get real jobs when they don't graduate. Because you know that all those stars in college, they go and they take bullshit classes just to get by. They get A's in them.
And that's what I was about to say. I've heard the argument where it's like, well, that way then these kids aren't getting an education. So is it good for them? What's $50,000 over 3-4 years if you don't get an education? Well, here's my counter argument to that. Yes, if you get an education as an engineer or a doctor or in business, sure. But if you're getting an education in whatever the fuck it is half these kids are taking that are degrees that really mean nothing, in the end, is it better? Maybe it is better to put your foot in the ground, get some money because you could play pro football in the NFL or the CFL.
Use your money you made playing in this Pac Pro League. Go back to university.
Absolutely. If I have $200,000
and know what you want to do later.
Yeah.
If I have $200,000 in the bank from 4 years of playing, or 4 years of playing, that's more than enough money to go back to school, get an education.
I mean, these kids are coming out
do.
and spending this money like...
It's true. And I mean, maybe something this league needs to look at is have counseling on financial matters so that these kids understand they can't just blow this right away. But I mean, if you come out of this league and even if you spend half it, if you have $100,000, you can use that to start a business. You can use that to increase your brand.
Totally.
You can use that for whatever you want to make money elsewise.
And you think about the stuff that these kids are learning in school, like for half the classes they're taking, it's not like pertaining to their lives. So if you had, for instance, like you said, Alex, programs for these people, or they're even just taking 2 hours a week, something about money handling or accounting or banking and then finance, that would be great for them just to understand how to deal with that money in the future after this league and stuff like that. So
man, at UFC,
I think it's a good idea.
The class is like rocks for jocks. I heard so many people took that easiest class at the school.
The school actually, I'll applaud UFC for doing this. They actually took actions. They made that class harder. It was my first year taking it. They made that class harder right after I heard it was super easy, rocks for jocks, specifically because it had that reputation. So I mean, good for them for trying to make it more academically challenging. But like we all know student athletes. We know guys who'd spend way more time at football practice than they would studying or anything like that.
I was going to say, if you think there's a class at UFC that's like for jocks to fuck around at, like I guarantee you at like a good school, like a big school in the States, there's got to be like tons of programs at schools and like teachers. Like we're low level and kids are having fuck around classes. So think about the big times. Like people got to be fucking around hard, literally just there to play football, right? You're not there to go to school. Remember Cardell Jones tweeted before when he was the quarterback of Ohio State? Hey, I didn't come here to do school. I came here to play football.
I mean, he's not wrong.
quote that.
Absolutely not wrong. Then tell me this:
Take it to the bank.
of those 3 leagues that we just talked about, which one do you guys think is going to be most successful? Seth, we'll start with you.
That's a good question. In terms of success, in terms of what will make the most money in my eyes, I would say the big 3 because it has the star power, it has the names, it has a little bit of celeb behind it, and I think it'll be coming on at a good time. Where people are kind of watching it like.
So
it's
when,
a casual
it's in the
start.
summer.
It's in the summer, yeah. It'll be a good time in the summer for you to watch a little 3-on-3, relax, see Allen Iverson again. In terms of success, I think it might be the developmental football league, the PAC one, because it's something that could open up a whole new world for football players and options.
There's no other avenues for players in.
Exactly.
It's either CFL or NFL.
You got to go to college first.
But you have to go to college, exactly.
So I feel like in terms of if you you're not judging success on sales, not numbers, not viewers, it would be that league because it's really creating change. So that would be my opinion.
Social value, dude.
Social value.
well, I mean, as far as making even a better product as a professional league, I think the PAC Pro is going to be the best one for that. Because, like you guys said, college is really your only way to get into the NFL. There's a lot of guys who just messed around in school, couldn't have the talent, couldn't get there. Whereas you look at the NHL, you look at MLB, there's literally hundreds of minor leagues for them to pull from. Right?
Or Europe.
Or Europe with soccer. I mean, over in Germany.
No, even hockey in Europe.
Yeah, hockey in Europe, with soccer in Europe. Football, you've got NFL, college, anything below that's high school and stuff. And there's really no other option.
That's about it.
What was the last guy?
There is a Europe NFL.
There used to be. That's not anymore. That was
they still have a professional league in Germany.
I don't think
They
it's
do.
the
They do.
NFL.
It's not okay. It's not. It might not be NFL related,
yeah.
but they do play American style football.
They do in Germany. It's they've got like the Jägermeisters sponsor team and
I'm
stuff.
sure,
It's pretty cool.
I'm sure it's low level.
It is, absolutely.
for sure.
It's what you do when you don't care if your
Most-
brain goes
most
to
of them
mush
don't get
and just
paid.
want to play football.
You don't even get
Speaking
paid.
of that, got my very first football game this week.
Hey.
Flag football.
Oh, Kyle's going to the big leagues with flag
Coming in
football.
intramurals.
Can I just say
baby.
this? Kyle's not like me. Let's just say this. I'm an established 3-time high school football champion. This guy hasn't even fucking strapped on the pads one time in his life.
And I never
And he's
will.
never going to because it's flag football.
Safe.
You know why I never played football?
Uh,
Because I did not want to go to practice every day after
Practice
school.
for football
yeah,
sucked,
practice sucked. Well,
man. 2 hours a day straight after school every day.
and when you don't have a car at that age, brutal.
Absolutely.
Brutal
You have to take a
after
bus
that.
Your
home
mom
after.
has to come pick you up at like 6 o'clock.
And then you have your mom.
and it's cold in the winter.
Oh, yeah.
God,
And
no.
then when you ask your mom,
Football's
they're like,
cool
"We
as
don't wanna
hell."
pick you up. And then they do, and then they get on your ass, and you're like, just pick me up, bitch.
You could maybe just say I'm too soft for to play football. Maybe
Fair
that's
enough, man.
That's fair.
Little cupcake like over there.
KD.
KD, baby.
All right, so I guess neither of you really
KG.
believe in the A7FL. I know you're going to watch it, Kyle.
I'll watch
it. Starts April 2nd if anyone's interested.
I'll
the
watch
new season.
it.
It streams on YouTube.
Oh,
I'll
Yeah,
be
that's
watching
easy
it
to
for
watch.
sure.
That's super easy
I'm down.
watching.
I'm down. I'll watch it. I'll give it a shot with you.
That's some
Oh,
great
yeah.
background noise. You know, you're gaming away.
We'll
Have
become
some
number
A7
one
football.
fans. DraftKings.
DraftKings.
They only play in 3 states. It's only in like Baltimore, Pennsylvania, or Maryland, Pennsylvania, and New York, I think.
Damn. All right.
So I think that's the true test of success, though. It's a race to whoever first gets on DraftKings.
If you get on DraftKings,
Absolutely.
it's over.
You're a
on,
real league if you're on DraftKings.
You're a real league. You're a real league.
So that just about wraps it up for this week. Last topic for you guys. What are you excited for this week? What's the hot press topics coming up this one?
Well, I mean, I know Joel Embiid's sitting out of the All-Star weekend this week, but I want to see Russ having to play with the other 4 Golden State team members as starting unit after them just playing together. So that's going to be awesome. So I'm excited for that.
Quick update. Kansas beats West Virginia
OT, hey?
Yeah.
Crazy. That's
Final
good.
score?
84-80.
Good game.
Good
That's
game.
awesome.
Both teams are good. And West Virginia, they've lost to a couple good teams. They're for real.
They're
They
for
play
real.
tough
They're for real.
schedule. Tough schedule.
I don't know if you guys know, but pitchers and catchers are reporting this week.
Ooh, a little
World
baseball.
Baseball Classic
Little
is
baseball.
in 20 days.
A little baseball.
There's 6
Nice.
Blue Jays playing in the World Baseball Classic.
All right.
6 of us.
6.
That's crazy.
Osuna, Estrada, Bautista, Happ, Stroman, and Dalton Pompey.
Nice.
Very nice.
We
That's
got 2
exciting.
pitchers
Very
on the
nice.
American team.
Nice.
I mean, Seth, All-Star games, like I said, I will go on record. I hate all All-Star games. I'm not a fan. I think they're a waste of time. Just let
I
the
would
guys
kind
rest.
of agree, to be honest.
But the dunk comp,
I'm
That's
not
the
even
one
hyped.
thing. That's
I'm
literally
not
the
even
one
that hyped.
thing that I'm okay with.
last
I
year
enjoy
they
a little
brought it, man.
I'll watch it. Like, I'll have it on the background as like I'm pre-gaming Saturday night or doing whatever. pregame and like probably sit on my couch doing fucking nothing. But you know, like it's background noise. It's like
It is. I'm never gonna sit down and
I'm
watch
not gonna be
just
like,
that.
oh, come over, watch this dunk come up. This 3 hours is gonna be lit. We gonna be fired up. 3-point contest. Let's go.
No, but it always
It's
makes
quick
good
on-
highlights.
It's PVR. It's PVR material or pregame material. That's my opinion.
There you
All
go.
right. You doing anything fun this weekend?
Going to Kimberly next week. Going snowboarding.
Absolutely, I'm gonna be right there with you. That's gonna be
fucking
great.
dope.
These motherfuckers going without me, y'all.
Hey, do you
These
even ski, man?
motherfuckers
You don't
going
even fucking
without
ski.
me, y'all.
Yeah, you can sit at the base of the hill and drink hot chocolate.
It's
all
because
day.
they white, and they know
Yeah.
I ain't white, and they like this white guy, this non-white guy. Don't ski
White
with us
people
white
sports,
people.
man.
Absolutely, man.
I ain't even
Golf.
tired of this. I golf.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tiger Woods, yo, he changed the game.
Tiger
He
Woods.
did.
Changed
You're
it
right.
for me and my peeps.
Open the door for everyone.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. Until next week, have a good one.
We out.
Peace out.